All right. Good morning. Welcome back. It's 5 minutes past 7 a.m. Before you leave your house, let's get into some politics a bit for the next 1 hour. And it's also good to get updated on what's happening in the country and, of course, across our borders, which is very important. My guest already in studio, and we'll be discussing a lot of things, including taking a look at what's on the front page of our local dailies. Okay, let me start with my immediate left, Umwami Wafula Mutacho, who is the chairman of Ford Kenya Party. Trans Nzoia is here. Umwami, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year too.
Yes.
We've not met this year.
We've not met this year, but you look energized.
Thank you, thank you.
Asante sana.
Thank God, yeah.
Karibu sana. And
a
lot
of ugali.
Oh,
yeah, a lot of ugali.
I think you had a lot of time to rest.
Yes.
And indulged properly.
Correct.
Which is very okay.
Yeah.
Karibu sana. Professor Emmanuel Mutisia is educationist and development expert, also in studio. Prof, good to see you.
Good morning. Long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Daktari, he did not come with mangoes, and you know what's happening around. I just have to put it to Bwami.
There are already many around, so you should have brought something.
Yeah, we're just like three of us here.
Maybe dry mangoes.
Just you know the best mangoes in Kenya
from Ukambani?
Come from, not Ukambani. They come from Makueni County.
Yes. That is not Ukambani?
In one, Ukambani is Ukambani.
Yeah.
Ukambani is white.
Just the way we are talking about Trans Nzoia. You know, when you talk about sugarcane, we know where it comes. It doesn't come from Western Kenya. It comes from specific
yes. So Makueni has the juiciest, the best
mangoes in East and Central Africa.
Yeah.
And so when my colleagues here, when they visit us down there, the only thing that we'll be able to give them unique are the mangoes.
Right.
Yeah.
No wonder Governor Mutula opened a factory to do packaging.
Yeah, because, you know, because of the quality of the mangoes.
Yes.
You know, you can have the consumption here locally, but also export. Just like our tea, you know, the blending part of that we do outside the country.
Yeah.
That is what we have, the quality of mangoes.
And that is what we are praying most of this devolution, counties should be doing.
Correct. Adding value.
Like Trans Nzoia, we should not be selling maize, raw maize. We should be selling unga to you people.
True.
But now you find the leadership is just full of themselves. Now that is the problem. I wish we had such a governor like the former governor, Professor.
Yeah.
Yes,
he
the one who
started
started that.
Yeah, he did do a very good foundation for, you know, for Kambani.
When you go to Kisii right now, is the time for matoke. It's all over.
Yeah, but you know, after drought, you don't have really a lot.
It's seasonal.
After the rains, 1 month. But they're still there. They still have.
All right.
And again, the sweetest, the best.
The sweet banana. The gentleman talking is the ambassador, Richard Busiri. He's a lecturer of political science at the University of Nairobi. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. Okay, let me start by giving you a quick sneak peek on what's the front page of the local dailies. Sifuna Orengo team in high-stakes gamble. That is on the front page of the Star newspaper. The Star is reporting that Sifuna Orengo team in high-stake gamble says that ODM rebels claim turmoil fueled by row over presidential race. That is also on the front page of the Star newspaper. And now there's another developing story that Opiyo Wandayi has ruled out Siaya governor bid and vows to campaign for President William Ruto come 2027. That is on the front page of the Star newspaper. Very quickly, on the front page of the Daily Nation, in bed with goons. That is on the front page of the Daily Nation, in bed with goons. This is basically following what happened over the weekend in Kitengela, where police lobbed tear gas to the crowd. And now the Azimio and the three leaders, that is Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua, and of course Eugene Wamalwa, yesterday visited Vigilance House seeking to have an audience with the police IG, but they need not manage. They say that 3 weeks after the attack on former deputy president by armed men at a church in Othaya, police are yet to make arrests. Okay, there's a very sad story here. Now, families now turn to wild fruits as famine bites. That is happening in the north, and perhaps we'll talk about that one later on. And finally, snobbish Kanja, more or less the same thing with what's on the front page of the Daily Nation. Snobbish Kanja, okay? Yeah, the three gentlemen, that is Honorables, Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua, and Eugene Wamalwa. All right, so gentlemen, let's come back and talk about this. From your own understanding, Dr. A lot has been happening in the country since the beginning of the year. What has been, now we're meeting for the first time, your key highlights so far?
I don't know where to start. We started the year well and with the hope as Kenyans, as usual. But it seems our hope is being, is dissipating very quickly because of the way the politics in the country is going.
Yes.
You mentioned about people not even being able to peacefully attend churches and have peaceful assemblies.
Yeah.
We have this goonism that is coming up as a phenomenon in our politics, and it's very dangerous, I would say. And that sends a strong signal to what we anticipate in the future in our political scene. And also, we started also a year on a low note when we could not take our children to school. Most parents were not able to take their kids to senior secondary year 10. And it's unfortunate that government did not even respond appropriately to that need. And that still hangs on the neck of the government, that we expect that all children should access basic education, but we see government not sending sufficient capitation to schools and actually trying to use force instead of addressing the basics. Because if parents are not able to take their children to school, the best thing the government can do is to make the education free, or to do something that will enable the parents to have capacity. And that sends a strong message that the economy is not doing well. Parents are stressed, families are stressed. If you cannot take your child to school, then you are at the lowest, let alone are not having food for them. And yet, government keeps talking about constructing roads, constructing bridges, constructing concrete stuff. And we're forgetting about the software. And our future is only, I would say, is solely based on our education, the education of our children, the education of our society, not on concrete roads and tarmacs and railways and all these things. Okay. These things come after or as we move along. But our priority as a country should be on education, and education first priority. Very good.
Prof, I ask a question, and perhaps you'll just respond to it now better. I said that Honorable Sifuna came from nowhere, and you said, no, he's been here. I asked, he's just come from nowhere. Why no?
That's a very good question. And before we get into the political base part of it, I think let me also add into what Blozia has alluded to, that it is important that Kenya, and the Kenyan government invest more in education, because that is the foundational requirement for driving this country to the levels that we want to get in, ourselves to. Human capital is the basic requirement. And if we are not able to take care of our basic level of education, skills development and higher education, then we'll not be able to drive this country to the first world level or status that President William Ruto is driving us to. But it's also important to understand where we've come from as a country. Looking back, 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, we've seen a lot of significant improvement in the way we build our human capital around. And what we saw, especially this year, because of the transition of this CBE, CBC, first group to senior high school, is something that, of course, when you are starting something new, you expect a bit of, disruptions here and there. And of course, I believe that the government is going to take care of that moving forward. I would also like to say that development in all sectors should move forward concurrently. So let us not focus on the human capital development alone. Let us also build the roads, because if you go to your village, you'll be happy to see a road there. But let us build that human capital that will help us build our roads and bring us to the levels of Singapore, the levels of South Korea, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Now back to Sifuna. We saw, of course, what happened in in Kitengela on Sunday. And there are two things that we need to look into. One is that what Sifuna, brought about to Kenyans is that one is coming up as a courageous young, politician. He's preparing himself for big things. And of course, having that courage and versatility to stand down there in Kitengela and have all those people out there, around him was an achievement. However, that was a Sunday when you have market days in Kitengela. And certainly if you block the road in Kitengela on a Sunday, you'll have massive numbers of people there. And I know because I've lived there for many years, and this is from my personal experience. However, I will not take that courage that he came up with, and certainly, of course, standing out there and having all those people around him. The excitement around him now is because of what is happening within ODM in general. We'll see a lot of things, just the way we saw what happened back in 2024, late in 2024. We hope that they will be able to sustain the process. However, we hope at the end of the day, a lot is going to happen to either bring these people together or break them away from the mainstream ODM and join, because we are going to have two forces at the end of the day. But now people are talking about three forces here and there. Moving forward, it is the capacity that we need to see from the leaders that we expect to elect in 2027.
Yeah.
And that capacity, everybody wants to be the right honorable Raila Odinga, so that they take up that slot. But it's very difficult to be the enigma because of the number of years that he spent building his profile back then when people feared systems here in this country. Yeah. However, let us not say that Sifuna came from nowhere. He didn't come from nowhere. He's been there. We've had him for many years, actually. So he's not like some of the governors that I was talking to my friend here. They came from nowhere, and then we know them, and they are in the limelight. So Sifuna is just an outgrowth of the building that was done by the former Right Honorable Raila Odinga. And the challenge that we are going to see moving forward is how to keep these upcoming politicians together and sustaining the process, because to sustain that you need to be able to move from Kitengela to Mandera, from Mandera to Tononoka, and that requires one, capacity, resources in terms of money and people, and that is not something that many people in this country have. So what we'll be seeing moving forward are a lot of realignments, along those people want to work together between now in preparation for 2027 general elections.
Yeah. When you look at this, Umwami, the political wave that we are seeing currently, perhaps it's for the democratic discourse in the country. He's talked about Honorable Raila Odinga, who, him and together with the other leaders, the Shikukus of this world, the Matibas of this world, talk of even President William Ruto, some of them who are still here, they have walked along this path before. So it is not news that you're seeing the likes of Babu Wino, Sifuna, and all these people also trying to copy the footsteps of their seniors in the political arena. So it's not something new anyway.
Yeah, it's not something new, Victor. But before I respond on that, let me also donate something to what Ambassador said on education. Kenya, we spend a lot of money in education. And most of this money are pocketed. I don't know whether that one is very clear. A lot of this money in education are pocketed by some few individuals. I remember there is a time when the Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Moses Masika Wetangula, said that if the Parliament can pass a law and accumulate all this money into one basket, the CDF, the CDF fund on education from the MP, the bursary from governor, so many bursaries in the ministry, all those bursaries, if they can accumulate them, actually you can have a free primary and secondary and even university education. We can have them free. But you know why they cannot make this law? Because member of parliament, that is their weapon, and that is where they make votes from. They want, when they stand before people, giving out bursaries, they feel, people feel down there that the member of parliament has done a favor to us. It's not a favor. You see, Victor, it's not a favor.
Yeah.
But now, if we can do that, accumulate all this money, right from the bursary from a member of parliament to the top, to the minister, and even the president. I know he has that pocket of bursary. We can provide a free primary, secondary, and even university, free education. That's one. And I support you, Ambassador, on that. The only thing, that is where the problem is. Interest. Interest is digging so much in this money. Now let me come to what you had asked me. You remember there is a time when we had young tax, the time of James Orengo, Wamalwa Kijana, the young tax. Now this is the young tax of today, Sifuna, Babu Owino, now led by the senior tax, James Orengo.
Yeah.
It is good and healthy to this nation, because if we cannot build young people to the same line, in the future we will not have good politicians. And also, the position is good for the government.
Yeah.
They keep government on check. They put government on check every time. So I remember there is a time when I visited the former Minister of Interior, that was not Karume, it was Michuki. I visited, I was with them, this lawyer man who went missing. I don't know. It's called, went flashing money in a helicopter.
Livondo?
Livondo. Livondo.
Yes.
We went to his office and he said, I in person, I cannot speak this thing in public and received well, because I am in the system. Now, if Raila will hear this, then he'll put me off immediately. But you people, you are in good position to go and agitate outside. You will be hurt more than me. That means opposition was working by that time. But if we kill opposition, then the government will enjoy a good ride in the bush. Yes. Now, coming to Sifuna, the way my friend said, Sifuna has been there for a decade now in politics. He has been Secretary General for ODM for more than 10 years, I think. And it's not like my governor who came from administration yesterday. He has not finished one term. He wants to be the president. The East come, the East go. And I'm very sure within this period, when it elapses, you'll see no voice from him again. Yes, but Sifuna is building his own brand. Victor, me, I'm an investigator by profession. I literally visited Busia when he was in Busia, that rally. And also I went to Kitengela that particular day. I parked my vehicle a bit far because I knew people, they could even destroy my vehicle. So I went with a motorbike. And I learned so many things. Actually, that meeting was organic. It was organic. It was not facilitated. No people were ferried. People made some profit out of it, including my daughter. I didn't know that she's doing printing. I didn't know my daughter. I didn't know that she's doing printing. She said, Dad, today I've harvested what? This rally of Sifuna. How? I printed a lot of T-shirts. Mimi ndio Sifuna, sisi ndio Sifuna. That was the slogan. And she sold a lot of T-shirts. That meeting was organic. And I'm telling you, Victor, I think the emergence of Sifuna is putting State House think tanks into another drawing board.
Okay, I'll come, that is part of my discussion. I'll come back to that clearly. But actually, when you look at all this, gentlemen, this, you can also answer all this. When you look at the packaging, the way this movement is coming out, just the other day we had ODM, and may his soul rest in peace, Baba has not even taken a few days, and we are having a split. Okay, alleged split. We don't know whether it's scripted or it was meant to be. But then now, whatever is happening right now, Daktari, look at the way this movement is happening, seamless. We have got two factions led by Dr. Oburu Odinga, and this other side, you said, is also led by James Orengo Senior Council, and of course Sifuna is also there.
Sifuna.
But the biggest name being called right now is Sifuna, not even Orengo.
Not Orengo.
Not Orengo. Why? Talk about packaging in political science. Packaging and presentation.
That might not be political science, it could be communication or something else that you do. You do better than me.
Yes.
But of course, political packaging is important. But you see, sometimes we want to say that there is a split, like you are saying, split in ODM. It's normal for people to differ within a party. And for me, I see the differences in ODM are based on actually the law itself. Because Sifuna is the Secretary General of ODM. The replacement of Baba in ODM brought issues.
Correct.
Why?
Could that be the genesis?
For me,
of
that's the
everything?
genesis. That's the genesis.
That is the genesis.
And the problem, I think, in ODM, I'm not a member, but in ODM, but you know, I've been an ODM member in the past, and I've worked closely with some of the leaders, including Baba himself. The problem is, again, attaching so much on a personality. And Odinga was such a consuming personality that you could not avoid that from happening in the party. And members, and particular leaders who are close to him, actually submitted to his authority and forgot about the structures in the party, that they should be respected. And if you see what is happening with Oburu, it's like Oburu is claiming, or he's packaging himself as the new Baba in the party. But I don't think that he has the credentials to be able to command what Raila commanded. And this is a signal to the political parties that we should strengthen parties regardless of who is in power.
Yes.
And that is what our country also needs. We need to have structures, institutions strengthened to the extent that even if I'm not there, the institution runs. Now, besides Sifuna in the party, because Sifuna has been built, I could say, has been given gravitas even by Oburu himself and the group. Because when you go and sit and say you have removed him, on what account? He's contradicting the party. Then, are you removing him in the right way? Did you follow the law?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you saying the D in ODM is removed? There's no democracy. People cannot raise divergent opinions within the party. They should actually raise divergent opinions. And that's why the political party tribunal actually, and the courts have said there's a problem. But besides Sifuna, you can also see Orengo, you can see Babu. In fact, you can see Winnie there.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a comment also that came from Mama Aida,
Mama Aida.
which also sends a signal that there are issues. There are people bulldozing certain position and calling a party position to support President Ruto in the coming election, 2027 election, presidential election, and that they also feel that ODM should remain as a solid party, independent, that should field a candidate for themselves, but also that even if there was going to be support for any presidential candidate or Mulengo, any whether opposition or not, it must be decided by party organs. But the way you see things are running is that the party organs are separate, the institution is put aside, personalities are now boxing each other. That's why Sifuna actually is gaining ground. And as Mwami said, the meetings that they have had whether the one in Busia or the one in Kitengela, they are natural meetings. People coming in, wearing their own home clothes and chanting slogans and supporting. But when you see the other meetings being conducted in uniforms, it means you transported people, you facilitated them. These are not people who are naturally supporters of this particular person or this particular party.
Even there is a clip where people are being dished 1,000 in Mombasa. There is that clip.
Yes.
So it's not organic.
So it's not organic. So what we are seeing is that, I mean, if I was an ODM leader, I would actually go back to the drawing board and say, we're making a mistake. Let us carry everyone together and let us accommodate each other to be able to strengthen the party as they move forward towards the 2027
elections. It's 7:30. Let's take a break. And we come back. We still have around 30 more minutes to discuss this, the political wave in Kenya and what it makes. But then, let's also not forget that President William Ruto is also not sleeping. He's also checking. He's also, looking from a distance.
Just sleeping. In order not sleeping.
He's not.
He's right inside.
Exactly.
He's right.
He's managing.
Anaweka kuni kupuliza moto.
He's right in the game.
You see? Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right. Okay. So welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. In studio, Wafula Mutacho, Ford Kenya Chair, Trans Nzoia County. I've got Professor Mwele Mutisia, who is educationist and development expert, as well as Ambassador Dr. Richard Busiru, who is a lecturer of political science from the
university.
Thank you very much. All right, gentlemen, let me come to you back, Prof. I ask a question. All of this, the political wave we are seeing in the country, there is genesis. In the beginning, there was something.
That's a very important point that you are alluding to. But we have to note a number of things. Number one is that we're in 2026.
Yes.
And the general elections will take place in 2027, in less than a year and a half.
Yes.
And therefore, we have all these political functions that must prepare for that general election. And there is one man that is critical in all these processes, and that is the President of Kenya, who is my president and my party leader. He is not sleeping on the job, because he's made it very clear that he must get that second term, and that is what we're saying. When people talk about these other things, we're saying that because of the vision and the work that he's doing for Kenyans, and the structures that he's put in place, 2 terms must be the drive that every Kenyan should be part of. Having said that, what we are seeing is that, and this is one of the principles, or one of the 48 laws of power. You scatter them. Scatter all these groups. And that scattering is...
that's what I'm reading here.
So that scattering
yes.
is part of the process. You see, a scattered opposition is a win for the governing or ruling party. The incumbent, exactly. And so...
And the opposition is also aware of that.
Yeah, they are aware of that. But the beauty with the opposition, the challenge with the opposition, is that they'll continue getting scattered. And that is why you saw now complaints coming from the proposal by Matiang'i that let us not go for the most popular candidate. Let us not go for the most learned or the nice-looking guy as the presidential candidate for the united opposition.
Right.
Let us go for a scientific process to select the most viable candidate who will run against William Ruto. You see, when he said that, the first person to complain was Kalonzo Musyoka. He said, no. We are not going to go back to where we were in 2022, where Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka was subjected to an interview, and he failed, which was quite unfortunate, We say, those of us who are supporting him are saying, no. We know the best candidate, and the most acceptable candidate today is Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. That is the Wiper team. But then Matiang'i and his team
at least when you look at the hierarchy.
Correct. Yes. When you look at the hierarchy. But there are those who are saying that you need to have not just the hierarchy part of it. There are several other factors that must be considered for you to vie for presidency in this country. And one of them is the following, the voter base that you control, and number 2 is resources. So whoever has resources on this side will be the most viable candidate to run against William Ruto.
Yeah.
But also number 2, we've been seeing two groups, the united opposition, and of course now, the president-led wing. That's where we are. And then there is now this other team that is coming up, which is trying to build their profile, not for 2027, but more for 2032. Because, the dynamics of political processes in Kenya are very complex.
Which team
now,
is that?
This function of young Turks, the young Turks of 1992,
yes.
This, next generation of leaders, the Babu winners of this country, the Sifunas, they're trying now to form their own coalition. That will take them not just next year, but beyond. Because after 2032, the current political, figures, the ones that have been running this.
Why not 2027? Why are you pushing it to 2032?
I'm pushing there because we're looking at the formations that we have and the scattering that is happening now, and that is going to happen in the coming months. It will be very difficult for the teams on this side to beat William Ruto.
Could it be the reason why they're talking about the scientific process, not the popularity level?
Correct. But also number 2, we said that the president of Kenya is not sleeping on his job as a politician.
Yeah.
Saying that he's looking at all these formations. He's looking at the individuals. And there's only one factor. Well, there are 2 factors that we need to look at. The capacity of the people. When you look at 2022, what happened to the Azimio team is that, and I was there then, we poached some of the key figures from Azimio. You see? Because some of them are not firmly rooted into the ideals of their groupings out there. And that is exactly what is going to happen. When you make too much noise out there, when you come out as that one figure that people listen to, the guys with the resources will come for you and give you an offer and tell you, your interest is this and this and this. Instead of spending all these resources, we are going to give you 5-fold. Come on this side or just keep quiet. You see? Now, when that happens, it will weaken the team that we have on the other side. And that is going to be dangerous in this country. And that is why when you ask people, they'll tell you that, the key figure in whatever is happening in this political process is the party leader of UDA. I am just going to add one thing, that you see, we are talking about broad-based government.
Yes.
And to us, broad-based government was formed so that we can drive the political processes for a win in 2027 for President William Ruto. Now, those ones who are pulling away with the assumption that they are going to be attractive to either of the sides for negotiation purposes.
Which team? Because we have 2 splits right now.
We have 2 split. We have split
in ODM.
Split ODM, because that is where the government, the Kenya Kwanza government, is keenly working with. Now, the split of this is now there's this formation. There's a formation of the party leader, the current party leader of ODM, and this of the next generation of leaders. Now, one of them is with the government, because that is where Raila Odinga left them. The other one is saying that, no, we are not there. So now they're standing out there to say that, we are ready to negotiate with a function that is ready to take our interests into consideration. Now, finally, just to go back, I'll go back again further. The only challenge that we have today, honestly, is that people are fighting to be the former Prime Minister, to fill his shoes. But when you go back to 1992, Ford Kenya, when he was a member of that Ford Kenya, he resigned from his seat, went back to Langata, and won that seat. Now, the current leaders that we have today do not have that courage. They do not have that capacity to say that, I don't like this, I'm going to resign, I'm going to go back to the people, and I'm going to ask them for another mandate with another vehicle. Why they are afraid is because they know the capacity of the current system that is led by William Ruto. That you can easily resign.
Is it the current system or the evolution of all politics in Kenya?
I want to make a comment.
Please.
Yes. Yeah. My brother here has spoken about so many things that I wonder if this country is still a democratic country. He's saying that the president is going to buy people. Where does he get this money? He's spending public resources to do politics. And I've seen the president, in my own analysis, that the president is just a political manager. He just manages politics. He cannot manage the country. That's why we have problems. You must place someone in a ministry as a PS, as a CS, But what outcomes? You don't see positive outcomes for the country. So, but he's managing politics through the positions that that are there in government. A latest example, and I don't know how my brother here thinks about this. The president takes party meetings to State House, and he's not ashamed. State House is a nation. In fact, it's a public office, because the State House is both an office and a residence for the head of state.
Allow me to just correct
not for the party leader. Let me finish.
Let me finish.
Let me finish. No, let me finish.
State
Let me
House
finish.
is
Just
actually the home of the president.
not the home of the president, please. It is the residence
of
the president. It's not the home of the president. The residence of the.
We are not seeing UDA meetings there for the parliament.
Just
we have seen
the other day.
We have I'm just giving you an example.
No.
The
two wrongs. No, two wrongs don't make it right. We're progressing. We are doing political progress in the country. We cannot take our country back. And in fact, that's the problem. That the president has taken the country back to the old days. Let me finish a point, Mwami. Broad-based government. He has said that broad-based government is for political management. We thought broad-based government was addressing 10-point agenda that will trickle down to the people of this country. And actually, that's the truth. It was just for political management. And we are seeing this on and on and on. And the president he has said the president must get a second term. Must. And this attitude is what's going to destroy our country. In a democratic country, you do your best, you let the people decide. But you cannot say, I must become. The must become syndrome is dangerous for the country. And it might plunge our country into trouble. That's what I wanted to add. I would add, young Turks have been there. When Orengo were fighting, we were young people in the university here. When Ford was being formed, we were there. We went to the first meeting that was held in Kamukunji. I was there personally. But where were these people who are now governing this country? They have never been reformers. They have never. And President Ruto is one of them. He has always been a system person. He was in State House doing jobs for President Moi at that time. He has never tasted the sweetness of fighting to change your country.
Victor, Victor, you know these people, they are not professionals in their career. They are in politics. These people are in politics.
You mean?
Yes, they are in politics. These people are in politics. However,
I'm the only professional.
No. Your profession, you practice very little. Politics is a lot. That is why they are trying to divert the main point of this discussion to somewhere else. Now, let me come to, because we were discussing the issue of how Sifuna was kicked out of ODM. Maybe that is the reason, or how they picked up the new party leader. That's where the turmoil started, maybe. So, to me, I want to put it like this. ODM had proper structures. That when the party leader is not there, ODM has 3 deputy party leaders.
That is Governor Abdul Samad, Osotsi, and Simbarati.
Yes. And now, out of these 3, when the party leader is not there, one should come and take over. So there is a problem there, and as an investigator, professional investigator. By the way, this is what I've done.
Not for the kid.
This is what I've done. This is what I've done when I was in military for the last almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Now that one is a career. Doctor, you know that when you practice something for more than 10 years or 20. It becomes like your career.
And you become a professional.
You become a professional.
Yeah.
Yes. So that one is my profession. The way I sit, I see there is a cocoon in ODM who have been hanging in Baba's court to survive. These are the cocoons are the one who sat down and decided to bring Oburu on board. Subjecting these other deputy party leaders. That is where the problem started. These cocoons are including...
Why do you think that happened? Before you name the names, why do you think that happened?
Because they feared that maybe any other party leader to come in will not favor them in the next general election. They will be subjected for free nomination. You see, that is the challenge, including Wanga and Junet. These are the people. These are the people who formed those cocoons and brought in Oburu to be the party leader. Oburu himself...
But was there a need to have him as a party leader to retain the identity of Odinga or Jaramogi in the picture?
This is a party. This is a movement. ODM is not a household thing. It's a movement. Victor, it's a movement. So with those structures, why those structures are there? The structures are there so that when this one is not there, the second deputy party leader or the first deputy party leader will take over. And the Secretary General is there. Imagine Secretary General who has survived in ODM for more than 10 years. That is Edwin Sifuna. And you know the strictness of Baba.
Yes.
He survived for 10 years. The longest serving Secretary General in ODM is Sifuna.
Okay.
And then after the demise of Baba, immediately you kick out Sifuna. That is where the wrangle is. And you know in Kenyans are funny. When you do wrong thing to an innocent person, you'll get a lot of sympathy from Kenyans.
Yeah.
That is why Sifuna is commanding a lot of people with a lot of sympathy.
Okay. A question to all of you. There is this similarity and probably comparison. And now I can see people are now going online and say that, you know, crowd doesn't translate into votes. Can we treat these as normal politics, quote unquote normal politics? Or when you look at the way you say that crowd was organic?
Correct. It was
Busia
organic.
and Kitengela.
And I visited myself. I
Great.
was there.
So if it is organic, and when you hear them talk, it was a Gen Z affair. We have got this larger percentage of people who've not even taken their voters card as we speak.
Correct.
They're supposed to, by the way you go and the registration is still going on. When you listen to them...
Victor, that is assumption. That is assumption.
Which assumption?
That the Gen Zs have not taken
votes. Yeah.
That is a big assumption.
Some of them have not.
No, that is assumption, Victor.
Okay.
That's assumption.
Okay. I stand guided. Fine.
That's
I stand
assumption.
guided. But let me take my question.
The way I was moving in those groups, I wanted to know who facilitated this.
Okay,
where the
I'll
money
come
is
back
coming.
to that, Daktari. Omwami, kidogo tu. My question is, when you look at whether it was organic or normal, can you say that the popularity and the scientific level of having this thing going on can be underrated? Whether it was normal or we want to use the scientific point of it to pick a presidential candidate in 2027?
And I think, Victor, the presidential candidate for the people in 2027, people will decide. Right now where we are seated, we've seen Kachagwa coming out with the incline from his backyard.
Okay.
And you can see that one is there. But right now, that is becoming diluted as we move on. It's becoming diluted. You saw Matiang came in, very energetic from abroad, was received and with the heroic welcome in his backyard in Kisiland. That one also has eroded.
How?
Is eroding. You know, that momentum is not still there.
It's there.
No, it's not still there. I want you to be a neutral person.
If we meet
this.
next, there are meetings in Kisii this week.
Yes.
Then you'll gauge that.
I'll be there. I like moving there. I'll be there personally. So when you come to see, so far, Kalonzo has not made one in Ukambana as he used to do. Now, give us the candidate. Give us the candidate for 2027. These people are going to choose one. Imagine the appearance of Sifuna. The way you've said the Gen Z's hand is there and the sympathizers are there. And you know, Kenyans nowadays are very clever and you cannot just take them lightly. If you receive hongo, Kenyans will know. And they'll group you in hongo people. You see, they'll group you in hongo people. If you refuse hongo, Kenyans will know that he refused hongo to be bribed.
Okay.
So they'll want, the common man, they'll want to ride on you.
Okay. There is something you said, Prof. that when you are at some point in a new outfit, you used to poach your strongest opponent. That brings me to another part of 48 laws of power, that you identify your rival's weak point, and that's why you strike.
On it.
Yes,
yeah,
strike there.
On it.
Who is right now? You can also, who is this identifying the rival's weak points and hitting properly, right at the center?
That's a very important question. And you know, now I'm a bit careful because my brother here, Dr. Busire, nimejua sasa kuna Matiang'i. So now
not necessarily.
We have drawn lines, and then for Kenya, and then I'm here with you. So now we are okay. We are okay. So let me say,
Victor, I am a neutral political scientist.
Let me say the following. Number one,
observing what is going on politically.
Number one, he's a political scientist, but yeah,
I don't belong to any party.
But you had, eh?
Yeah, I had it.
Okay, good. Let us now go to 2 points. One, there are strategic planners.
Yes.
On all the sides who are looking at what is happening and working very hard to make sure that they benefit from the confusion that we see in our political landscape. And the biggest team, because of course of capacity, is with the Kenya Kwanza government. Now I'm saying this because of 2 reasons. One, when you look at what is happening, and I like what you've said, you know, when you look at all these other candidates, scientifically we know who is the best. We can even sit here and say, if we were given, the 3 of us, now the guys within the opposition, will go for this guy because he's acceptable, he's not corrupt, and he has the energy and the appealing, attractiveness that Kenyans need. That person may not be, you know, the people that have been in the landscape. On the landscape for the longest time possible. Number 2 is what you've said, that everybody is capitalizing, working very hard to capitalize on this confusion so that they poach, get a few people here and there. And I know Dr. Busire will say that, no, that is not democracy. I don't know. Democracy theoretically is what he believes it is as a political scientist. But our democracy, here in Kenya, is completely different. Different in the way that you go out there in these political engagements to win. And that is why you have to find all ways, using those 48 laws of power, so that you get the best from all the other outfits for you to win the elections out there. Back to the SG of ODM. We are talking about Gen Z, and yeah, it's true. The gathering or the people that congregated on Sunday, just came from their own places. But certainly, of course, it was Sunday, so that was also a market day.
Yeah.
When you go to Kitengela on a market day, that is what happens. But having that organic, group of people there listening to you is a plus for that team. Because when you see what happened to DCP, DCP will wake up and say that, oh, I was just coming out from the church, nikapatana na watu. Lakini unapata all those people wako na kofia ya green, ya DCP.
Yes.
So that is not organic.
That is not organic.
Those are people who are afraid to come to that place.
Yeah.
These ones, we are not. Showing that there is an excitement around this new group of people, that people are ready to walk the journey with.
Yes.
The challenge is just one. And I think it's important to work with numbers. We need to ask ourselves, when you talk about Gen Z and the registration process with the IBC, whether the numbers are there or it is just an illusion. We need to find out exactly what has happened over the last 3-4 months during this IBC voter registration process,
yes,
to see how many. Okay. Because when I look at what has happened in Makueni or in Ukambani, you realize that it's a very small percentage of the expected numbers of new voters, which tells you that most of these young people have not gone out there to do exactly what they're supposed to do. That is when you listen to Gachagua or Kalonzo, you'll hear them tell these young people that please go and register, because the weapon that we have to use against the sitting government, yes, is your voter's card. And we're also doing the same thing. We are pushing to make sure that we get new voters from the government side, because that is the only weapon that they're going to use to make sure that the margin of victory is big enough that the Matiang'is and the Kalonzos of this country will not go out to court and contest.
Okay.
Before Daktari, let us classify the age group of Gen Zs. In a normal theory, we are just talking of 18 to 20 years.
Okay.
That is the thing. But the major number is from 35 downwards to
Those are youth.
Those are youth.
Okay.
And those are the people who are coming up agitating as GNCs.
Okay, Umami. Because of time, I think when you got back, we'll not malice that.
Yes.
Dr. Just give me your, and I'm going to treat this as your closing remarks, by the way. That the director says that time is up. 1 hour is gone just like that. Oh my God.
And we have not even started.
We've not even started. Endelea.
Yeah, I wanted to respond to these issues. I mean, that democracy is just a theory that exists in our minds, and it cannot be exercised and operationalized. Far from the truth, my brother. The democracy, one has to believe in something as a leader. One has to believe in something. Sometimes I question myself, what does the president believe in to win an election? Then to do what? That's where we lose it. A leader must believe in something. You are taking your people from position A to position B. Not the Singapore story. You are taking people.
That's what he
from
believes
one.
in.
That's what he believes in.
That's what he
Exactly.
believes in.
No, that is. I mean,
We are going to Singapore.
As a politician, that's what he believes in.
No, you see, Victor, I agree with you. As a politician, but not as a leader. A leader must purposefully take the people from one point to another. Which point have we moved in the last 3-4 years? Going to 4 years now. You see, no, hold on a second. I'm saying that because people should vote our leaders. Personally, I am one who believes that. We vote leaders who actually have a clear vision, leaders who believe in something, not leaders who say anything for convenience to get votes. And that is the problem that we have in Kenyan politics.
Correct.
They want just to suit you so that you vote for them. After that, what else? You give people money. Bribery is a major problem in our country, political bribery. We have also corruption. In fact, Singapore is about clean government. Who cares about clean government anymore when people go out with sacks of money and give to the poor Kenyans?
You know,
not focusing on the
Daktari knows
fundamentals.
very well. Daktari knows very well that...
Hold on a second. Raila became what he was because he believed in something. It was detained. Why should I accept to be detained? Because I believe in an idea to make our people move to another place. The human rights, democratic participation, and all expanding democratic participation. They fought for a better Kenya. But what are we doing today? We want to tell people, our public, to think that politics ni porojo, kudanganya hapa, kurusha pesa hapa, and you get to power, and nothing changes in this country. We can't change our country in that way.
Yeah.
It won't change.
Okay. The director says that we need to get out of this place.
You know, Victor, Daktari is alluding something very good. But now, where the problem lies in the government is actually the government delivery team. The government has done something which is visible.
Which one?
Which is,
when
know
children don't go to school?
No.
Universities are dying?
No.
The hospital is not working?
Those are ministries which are guided, which has their framework. Maybe.
No, you have wrong people in management.
That is the thing. But now, when the government has done something, we appreciate
Which
generally.
Which one?
Like affordable housing, where is it?
Who is buying
the previous government, this money that are putting up for the, affordable housing.
The money was not there. The tax was established the other day.
No, the money was going.
Taxpayers are paying for the money, and it has not been accounted for, even a single year.
I'll say one thing.
Yes.
Conclude on this.
Someone is saying that he has something for you kwa bili yake. I don't know what he has. I don't know what he has for you kwa bili yake.
One, let us appreciate where we come from as a country.
Great.
That if you go back before 2022, and I refer Dr. Bosire to the Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms and see the challenges that we had in our education system.
Thank you.
Let us go back there and agree that even as the former CS Education Matiang talks, he should understand that there were challenges that he left this country with.
Okay.
Which ones? You know, I'm just saying number two.
People say that.
Number
Just
two,
politics,
the government of William Ruto has done some good work. There is a lot of space for improvement, but they have done a lot of good work.
Yes.
And that good work, forget about university. No, he's just talking about University of Nairobi.
Okay.
We are doing better.
Moi is dead.
We even
Moi
have
was
a new,
dead.
it was dead before we came in. We even forget that we have a new university in Konza called the Kenya Advanced Institute.
It was also dead.
We are going to work with that. So let us appreciate the efforts that the government is doing today, and let us correct it.
Great.
So that we get the best for our people moving forward. Thank you.
Someone is watching from Garissa saying that he has a bill for you or something. I don't know what he's going to pay. I don't know what it's all about, but he's saying it's called Guyo, that he has got something for bili yake.
Kwa bili yake.
Kwa bili yake. Okay,
No
thank you so
problem.
much. Omwami, Ford Kenya Chair, Trans Nzoia County, asante sana. All right, Wafula Mutacho and Professor Emmanuel Mutisya, educationist and development expert, as well as Daktari Ambassador.
Thank you.
Richard Busiri from the University of Nairobi. My name is Victor Olo.
You got
from
it correctly.
KBC. Thank you for watching.